There are two types of neurons, afferent neurons and efferent neurons. Afferent neurons revolves around sensory neurons. It carries sensory information from the peripheral nervous system and into the central nervous system. So from the nerves all the way up to your spinal cord and brain. The pathway involves transmitting signals from your sensory receptors in the skin, eyes, ears, etc. to the brain and the spinal cord. For example, when you touch a hot surface, your afferent neurons in your skin sends pain signals to your brain. Efferent neurons, however, is involved with motor neurons. So the function involves carrying motor commands from the CNS to the PNS, specifically to the muscle and the gland to produce a response or action. The pathway involves transmitting signals from the brain and spinal cord to the muscles and the glands. For example, when you decide to move your hand away from a hot surface, the efferent neurons send signals from your brain to the muscles in your hands to contract and move away. I like to think about the difference like this. So we're seeing how it will affect our brain and our spinal cord. Hence the fact that when we're sensing something, because of the afferent neurons, those senses go up into our brain and our spinal cord. Now, efferent neuron involves effect. So how would we be? What would be the effect? So the effect would be how our brain and spinal cord reacting and then deciding where the neurons would go to. Something else that's important to understand is a reflex arc. A reflex arc is a common example of how afferent and efferent neurons work together. So when you touch a hot surface, afferent neurons quickly send signals to the spinal cord. Interneurons in the spinal cord process this information and immediately send signals through efferent neurons to the muscles to pull your hand away, often before the sensation of pain even reaches your brain. So the sensation doesn't necessarily have to reach your brain, and that's because of the reflex arc.